Hello everyone. Today, FIYN Labs brings you another module in our current journey of NetSuite introduction. So today we are going to talk about account receivable. And before that, thanks for the last one, accounts payable likes. It is very encouraging. So we are going to continue the same. And as part of that demo, or I would say introduction, so we are going to talk about NetSuite account receivable and today. And also I would recommend, if you have any feedback, comments, or any module you would like to see, you can put a comment on the in the comment section, and we will be definitely try to incorporate in our demo. Okay. So coming back to our today's agenda. So today we are going to talk about account receivable. So just like accounts payable, right? Account receivable includes order to cash, okay, module. However, as I told you, in accounts payable, we have it's not a standard process. Just like creating a sales order, fulfillment, and invoicing or customer payment. These are the four stages which generally we assume the part of order to cash or account receivable cycle. However, there are certain exception in it. There are some case scenarios which we should always learn to get the full clarity of account receivable. Okay. So for that, let me start with the demo. What we generally cover, or what we say as part of account receivable. Okay. So account receivable, NetSuite account receivable, or I would say uh, okay, so this is my account receivable. So let me just mark it as bold or highlight it. Okay, so NetSuite account receivable, as I told you, okay, the first basic thing starts with the customer master. Okay, customer master is nothing but it's the entity to whom we sell the product. Okay, so if I assume ourselves as a company, so we sell the entity to we sell the product to this entity, and that is considered as a customer. Okay, so now in this journey, right, this whole account receivable starts with sales order creation. Okay. So here I am going to focus about the basic structure of the order to cash, and then I will go in deep diving that, okay, what are the multiple case scenarios which we generally occur in our standard NetSuite implementation. Okay. So that's our goal will be. So this whole process, okay, starts with the sales order creation. So as I told you, right, earlier, the sales order, just like purchase order, sales order is also confirmation. Okay, it's not like you have sold the item completely, or you have received the money. It is a mutual confirmation between a company and a customer that, okay, customer is going to pay you a certain amount of money when you are going to deliver some product to the customer shipping address. Okay, so that's what the sales order is. Okay, so generally when we ask in the interview what is the definition of sales order, so some students get confused. Okay, so that's what it is. So it's a mutual agreement between customer and the company regarding selling of a certain product. Okay, so once the sales order is created, that means a customer has placed an order to the company. So I would say customer has placed the order to the company. Okay. So think about yourself as a company. So just like we buy an item, right, in Amazon, which I generally recite in my example. So I always bring up that example. So in Amazon, right, think about you are placing an order online. Okay. So in when you place an order online, right, so you generally place an order, okay, that you need a product. So in that example, Amazon company, okay, will be treated as a company, and you as an individual, okay, think of yourself as a customer. So you will be treated as a customer in our NetSuite language. Okay. Now, once Amazon receives the order, or once the company receives the order, what company does? Company do the shipment of that order. Okay, so you will be receiving the product from the company. So that we call as item fulfillment. Okay, so that is nothing but fulfillment of the product from the company warehouse or company location to the shipping address or the delivery address of the customer. So starting from the source location, which is company location, to the destination location, which is customer location, whatever the shipment process is, that is considered as item fulfillment. Okay. Now, and this is a standard scenario. So once item fulfillment is created, right, then we capture invoice. Okay, so we go and create, we send the invoice to the customer. Okay, so this is invoice is find out. Okay, invoice is created, right, and against that invoice, what we do as a customer, right, we make the payment. So company will receive the payments, and that's what we capture as a customer payment. So customer payment is nothing but company receive the payment from the customer. That's what the meaning of the customer payment. Okay, so this four cycle defines the standard order to cash scenario. Like you see here in NetSuite, this is my NetSuite screen, and you see here if I go to this transaction tab, if I go to the sales or tab, so here you will see that inter sales order comes into the in this tab, right? And you have the invoice same way. So those step, right? Creating an order, fulfilling an item, right? So like fulfill an order, right? So those will come in each stage. So if I say whatever the implementation you are doing, okay, in for any customer, this native functionality will always remains the same. So you will have to go create a sales order, fulfillment, invoicing, and customer payment. However, there can be a lot of customization. Some customers say that no, order comes directly from a website or from outer system. So that can be an integration example, okay, or that can leads to another customization. Or sometimes there can be a chances that okay, sales order created as an approval pending approval stage. Okay, and then you check, or the sales team check if item is available or not. If item is available, then they approve that order, and then the warehouse team is shipping that product. Okay, so there can be multiple scenario. Now even in item fulfillment, right, you can have multiple scenario called pick, pack, and ship. Or there can be minor scenario like okay, you create a tracking ID, and with that tracking ID you tracks the whole journey whether item is delivered to the customer location or not. So are same for invoicing. So this whole process, right, can lead to multiple sub scenarios. Okay, but native wise, this four stages will remain the same in any ERP system. Okay, and that applicable for NetSuite as well. So this is my order to standard cash scenario, where this is my first native example of order to cash module. So let me just give some highlight. Okay. Now, so the another case scenario, which we generally call as exception of order to cash. Okay, and that is also an NetSuite interview question. Generally, we get confused. Okay, what is the exception scenario of order to cash? Then we understand that okay, it's asking something else, like how the any specific scenario is going to work, how the warranty is going. It's not like that. The simple is how the return process can be captured in NetSuite. Okay, so to capture the return, just take an example of Amazon, right? You generally you buy any product from Amazon or from the website, right? Then let's suppose the product is not good. Then what you do? You're going to return that product, right? So customer basically return the product to the company. So from the company point of view, what you do, you capture a customer return authorization. So this is just a, I would say, reverse of sales order. Here customer is returning the product to the company. Okay, so as a company, you are a company, for example. Okay, then definitely that return product you need to receive from your customer, right? So generally, company sends a guy who receives the product from the customer location, right? So what company do in NetSuite terminology, you basically company is receiving the product from the customer location. Okay, so in NetSuite we create an item receipt. Okay, so that is just reverse of item fulfillment. So here you have fulfill the item, but here you are going to return receive the item back from the customer location. Okay, now here there can be multiple scenarios. So basically you are what you are doing, customer returns. Okay, uh, returns the product. Okay, now there can be a sub scenario in it. For example, customer is returning the product because it did not suit the size, or size is just small. I'm just taking an example, or it can be any scenarios. Okay, the product is good but it is not suitable for that particular customer. That is the reason for the return. So in that case, you can directly receive the product, right? Because this item is good and it can be resellable to the other customer. So there can be one sub scenario is like resellable item. Okay, so resellable item means okay, one second. Resellable item. So here basically you can resell the product, resell, I would say resell the product to the other customer. Okay, so that can be your reason. And another reason can be you have the item whatever you have fulfilled in case one, that is a damaged one. Okay, so you have a damaged item, so that damaged item is returned by the customer. So in that case you can receive the product but you cannot resell it to other customer. Okay, so you cannot resell to other customer. Okay, so in that case we call it as a loss of the company, a loss to the company, because that item cannot be resell to any other customer, right? That means it's become your loss, right? If you are a company. So in NetSuite we call it as a write-off account. Okay, write-off account, and that way we capture it. Okay, so that is one of the key aspect to check on the receive that item receipt. Okay, now once you if I talk the further step, once you receive the product, okay, the customer has returned the product, you receive the product, and now you need to issue the credit to the customer, right? So there can be two ways. You can issue the credit memo. That means, okay, you are refunding the money, returning the money in the bucket list of the customer, and customer can use this money when they purchase next time from us. Okay, just like as I told you in my previous accounts payable example, during the COVID period, right? Lot of our flights got cancelled. They did not refund the money, but they put the money in our credit, and we can use that credit in the later part or in the next time whenever we purchase, whenever we book the flight, right? So that's what it is. So customer credit memo. So here also you can do, or if you go one step ahead, okay, so what you can do, you can create a customer refund. So if this cycle basically tells you, you company return the money back to the customer account. So that's what the customer refund is. Okay, so that's is one of the exception scenario. Now let's say my case scenario number 3 is, let's say this cycle did not occur. Okay, so you did not refund the money, you issue the credit note to the customer. Okay, then in that case the case scenario 3 will tell you how to apply the credit, okay, memo to the next order. Okay, to know next sales order. Okay, so that is one of our example case scenario which we going to showcase. And then case scenario number 4 is like generally for prepaid customer means if customer has made the advance payment, and generally we do for example whenever we place an order, right, in Amazon or in Flipkart, okay, or in eBay website, what we do, we make the payment at the time of order creation itself. Okay, so that means we start with the sales order. So we create an order that, okay, I need that product. However, we pay the money upfront. Okay, so we have not received the product yet, but we pay the money upfront. So generally, what we do, we create a customer deposits in that case. Okay, and then so basically this customer deposit is paid to the sales order. Okay, so here in NetSuite you can also see we have that option, that record customer deposit. Okay, so it's there, record customer deposit. So that's what it is. So you can create a sales order, and then at the time only you can place the pay the money for that order. Okay, so but this deposit will be tagged to that sales order. So for example, if you are placing an order of say $100, okay, and you are depositing the money of $100, so basically whatever the invoice will be generated, right? I would say this is here. So invoice will be generated. That invoice will be generated as paid in full status because you have already paid the money, right? So what the next step over here is, you create a sales order, you have the customer deposit, and then you fulfill the product to the customer location. So item fulfillment is captured. However, invoice is created in paid in full stage. So here you don't need to create any customer payment. Okay, so that's what this account receivable cycle for advance payment. So this is one more case scenario is. Now there is another case scenario. So case scenario number 5 is basically, so here I told you that, okay, you have created an order, price order value of amount $100, and deposit value was for one second. So deposit value is for $100. Okay, so whatever the invoice gets created, it's created in paid in full. However, this case scenario tells you that, let's suppose generally it happens. Let's suppose customer has in wholesale distribution, this scenario can come. So here what happened, let's say customer said that, okay, I am going to pay you an advance payment. Okay, and for this quarter. Okay, so I am going to create a customer deposit directly of, let's say, for example, $1,000. Okay, however, after this I can create multiple order. Okay, so the order will be keep coming, customer will be placing the order. It can be sales order 1, it can be sales order 2, it can be and so on. Okay, so you can have multiple sales order. Okay, now when the sales order is so on sales order is created, the expectation from the customer is you will be just fulfilling the product. So you will be creating the item fulfillment. Okay, and then what happens, that invoice, right? So for sales order 1, let's suppose invoice 1 is created, right? For sales order 2, you have invoice 2 is created, and so on. Okay, you will be applying this customer deposit to these invoices. Okay, so here if I tell you the customer deposit amount is $1,000 and SO1 amount is, let's say, $100, so remaining amount after applying that advance payment, whatever it will be remaining, right? So $900 will be remaining, right? So this $900 will be applied to second sales order. So let's suppose even this example, the second sales order amount is $300. So out of that $900, you will be applying $300. So remaining $600 is left. So that means one customer deposit can be applied to multiple invoices. Okay, so that is one of the scenario as well that we will be checking in our order to cash cycle. And that is also one of the aspect for this order to cash scenario. Okay, then let me just make the color. Okay, then we have another case scenarios which we call, so we have 5 case scenarios so far. Then we have another case scenario number 6 is cash sale. Okay, so cash sale is nothing but it's a standard process where every cycle, whatever from this to this, performed in one screen. Okay, so how to capture a cash sale in NetSuite system? So this cash sale is basically it's for stores. So just like in our general retail stores, we go and buy the product, right? And we pay the money upfront. So you are placing the sales order, okay, at the time that you are telling the whoever is the attendee, you are telling that, okay, I have purchased this product. If you go to Walmart shop, or if you go to in India we have Big Bazaar, right? So if you in US we have Walmart. So if you go to that, you buy the product, then you pay the money upfront. Okay, so your fulfillment is also happening at the same time. You are making the payment to the company at the same time, and you are the sale is being done. So all cycle is being covered in one go. So that is nothing but a cash sale, or you receive a cash memo. Some company uses that, so that is nothing but your cash sale scenario. Then apart from that, there are some exceptions. So here we have a billing operation cycle. Okay, so billing operation is basically it's an automatic feature to create an invoice. So it's like this automatic feature. Okay, I would say feature to create invoice. Okay, for fulfilled fulfilled order. Okay, so basically what happened here, I would take your attention to this example where your payment is made is paid in full. Okay, so this example I will pick here. So here what happened, uh, so this case scenario was customer has made a payment of $100 upfrontly. Okay, so think about this way. If on Amazon, right, or in your company, you receive, let's say, 1,000 order every day, and you receive the advance payment for those 1,000 order, right? So and so your job is just to fulfill the product. Now we can automate invoice creation as paid in full in a NetSuite using this billing operation functionality. Okay, so you just need to create an order. Okay, deposit will be created in the issued system, and just then you need to fulfill the product to the customer location. Okay, then invoice will be created automatically, and this customer deposit will be applied to the invoice automatically. This automation is covered with the standard process of NetSuite called billing operations. Okay, so this is our case scenario number 7. However, in each case scenario, whatever I have explained over here, there will be a GL entry. GL entry is nothing but a accounting impact. Okay, so whoever is the accountant, they are much interested in the accounting side of the site. Okay, so here we will see that, okay, which account is getting debited and which account is credited. So that generally we saw when I will explain you in the demo. I will go in NetSuite system, and then I will show you that, okay, how the debit, which account is getting debited, which account is getting credited. Just like I think I do have some sample. Let me see if I do have. Well, okay. Uh, no, I don't think I do have. But yeah, so let me pick up that way. Okay, so yeah, so it's like this. The same, this whole account receivable operation I will show you like this. That, okay, here this account, in when I will show you in NetSuite system, that, okay, when the order is getting created, which account is getting impacted, which account is credited, and how the cycle is happening. Okay, so there are multiple case scenario for the order to cash, and also we can talk about in some customer implementation. I have seen they use integrations. Integration is like sales order is created from the website, okay, or invoice is created outside of NetSuite system. So there are so many if and but in one cycle, okay, that we will be going through when we will be jumping in our account receivable demo actual in NetSuite system in my next class. So stay tuned, okay, and if you have any question related to the training, okay, you can definitely reach out to the link provided here. So here I will conclude my remarks with this case, 7 case scenarios. Okay, and if I show you in NetSuite on a high level, right? So you have, as you see, you have this inter sales order, right? Then after that, we generally goes to the fulfillment. Okay, so we create item fulfillment. So this whole stuff, right, automatically suggested by NetSuite. So NetSuite is a very intuitive system. It is a self-explanatory system which gives you the what should be the next stage. Okay, so that we can show you in the system in my demo. And here you see the billing operations you have, right? Then you have this refund you have, right? And then you can see the cash sale, how we can do that. So there are so many options here. And also related to reports, we have order management related reports are also available. So we will be talking about that in my whole demo, where this how this whole reports can be customized. There can be a specific requirement from the customer as well, right? So we create a save search, we customize the standard report, and then we give them the complete information that okay, how the order create and what's the status gets changed. So this we will be talking in detail in my next demo. So just to conclude, thank you everyone once again, and see you in the next session. And I will love to hear from you that okay, what's your feedback and which module you would like to see, and then we can talk about that as well. So far, thank you everyone once again, and see you in the next session. So far so good from my side, and I take the rest. So thank you.